Vice President Mike Pence headed to the Midwest to view flood damage as farmers raise concerns that busted levees won't be fixed during the traditional spring flood season. Pence is scheduled to visit Omaha late this afternoon. Hundreds of homes were damaged and tens of thousands of acres were inundated with the water. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says that rivers breached at least a dozen levees in Nebraska, Iowa, and Missouri. Flooding is expected through the week as high water levels flow down the Missouri River. The Nebraska Farm Bureau president says farm and ranch losses to the devastating flood could reach the billion-dollar level in the state. President Steve Nelson estimates $400 million on crop losses because of crops that will be planted late, if at all. He also estimates about $500 million in livestock losses as the state struggles with swollen rivers and breached or overtopped levees following these heavy rains and snowmelt that has yet to completely happen. 20% of the state's gross domestic product and provides one of every 4 jobs in Nebraska. The Nebraska Emergency Management Public says that the current public impact of flooding in the state, $205.5 million, and the private impact, $59.7 million. Secretary Sonny Perdue rang the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange today. He'll be joined and was joined by farmers, ranchers, producers, and industry leaders as he met while traveling across the country as secretary for ringing of the bell. Last week, USDA-trained detector dogs played a major role in the seizure of roughly 1 million pounds of pork smuggled from China. There was an outbreak of African swine fever. The highly contagious and deadly disease affects both domestic and feral, which is the wild pigs, and there's no treatment or vaccine. Since prevention is the best protection against the disease, Secretary Sonny Perdue is sharing information about the importance of keeping ASF out of the United States. You can find a link through the USDA. Try to stay dry. I'm Susan Littlefield on the Rural Radio Network.
This is Mike. Mike likes his car. Mike likes to save money. And Mike likes to breathe. So Mike fills up with E15 with 15% American ethanol. The clean octane in E15 gives Mike the performance he wants from his engine and the clean air he wants for his family. Better yet, E15 costs less at the pump. Higher octane, cleaner air, lower cost. E15 sure gives Mike a lot to like. Discover E15 with American ethanol.